To the rest of the world, Karl-Anthony Towns seems to have it all, standing at 7 feet tall, dominating the NBA courts, and earning hundreds of millions of dollars playing for the New York Knicks. He looks like a man untouched by hardship, smiling brightly under the bright lights of Madison Square Garden. But behind that million-dollar smile lies a devastating heartbreak that money could never fix. In a shocking span of just a few months, Karl-Anthony Towns didn't just lose a game. He lost the very foundation of his life. He watched his world crumble as death tore through his inner circle, claiming not one, not two, but 7 of his closest family members. It's a tragic reality that left the NBA superstar completely broken, kneeling at grave sites, questioning everything. How does a man survive that much grief while carrying the weight of an entire franchise on his shoulders? The truth about what Cat went through behind closed doors will completely change the way you see him. To truly understand the depth of his pain, we have to go back to March 2020. The world was shutting down, but for the Towns family, a personal nightmare was just beginning. His mother, Jacqueline Cruz Towns, the matriarch of the family and Karl's biggest fan, fell severely ill. What started as a cough quickly turned into a fight for survival. Karl, desperate to save her, put out an emotional video on Instagram, pleading with the public to take the virus seriously while holding back tears. But despite his fame, his wealth, and access to the best medical care in the world, Karl was completely powerless. On April 13, 2020, the devastating news broke. Jacqueline had passed away. For Karl, the world stopped spinning. The woman who sat courtside at every single game, the woman whose voice he always listened for in the crowd, was gone forever. But the nightmare didn't stop with his mother. In a cruel twist of fate, the tragedy rippled through his entire family tree. Within a matter of months, Karl-Anthony Towns found himself attending funeral after funeral. 6 more family members, including his beloved grandmother, uncles, and close relatives, were taken away one by one. Imagine the immense psychological toll. While ordinary people were struggling to cope with isolation, Karl was burying the people who raised him. He admitted in interviews that every time his phone rang, his heart dropped, terrified of who he was going to lose next. The wealth he had accumulated suddenly felt completely meaningless. No amount of money in his bank account could buy back a single breath for the people he loved most. To understand why these losses hit him so hard, we have to look at his childhood. Karl-Anthony Towns was raised in Piscataway, New Jersey, born to an African-American father, Karl Towns Sr., and a Dominican mother, Jacqueline Cruz. His household was built on love, hard work, and deep family bonds. His father was a basketball coach who built a court in their backyard, teaching young Karl the fundamentals of the game from day one. But it was his mother who provided the emotional fuel. She kept him grounded, celebrated his heritage, and made sure he understood the value of family. Karl wasn't just playing for himself. He was playing to give his family a better life. As a teenager, Karl's talent was undeniable. But it was his unique eligibility that launched him onto the international stage early. Because of his mother's roots, Karl was eligible to represent the Dominican Republic. At just 16 years old, he was selected by none other than legendary coach John Calipari to play for the senior national team. Imagine a high school kid sharing the court with grown professional men, holding his own and proving he belonged. This experience fast-tracked his development, turning him from a local high school star into a global phenom with a unique skill set that the basketball world had never seen from a player his size. Following his international success, Karl committed to the University of Kentucky under Coach Calipari. During the 2014-2015 season, Towns became the centerpiece of one of the most dominant college basketball teams in history. The Wildcats went on a historic 38-game winning streak, destroying every opponent in their path. Karl wasn't just a tall body in the paint. He showed a soft shooting touch, elite passing vision, and a defensive intensity that locked down the rim. By the time the season ended, NBA scouts weren't asking if he would be a star. They were asking how quickly he would dominate the league. On June 25, 2015, the Minnesota Timberwolves made the easiest decision in franchise history. They selected Karl-Anthony Towns with the #1 overall pick in the NBA draft. Walking across that stage, wearing a sharp suit with his mother and father crying tears of joy next to him, Karl had finally fulfilled his childhood dream. He had made it to the ultimate stage. He promised the city of Minnesota that he would bring them back to relevance, and he was armed with the talent to back it up. Karl took the NBA by storm. From his very first game, he looked like a seasoned veteran rather than a 20-year-old rookie. He dominated the paint, stretched the floor, and swept all 6 Western Conference Rookie of the Month awards. When the season concluded, he was unanimously voted the 2016 NBA Rookie of the Year. He averaged over 18 points and 10 rebounds per game, officially signaling to the rest of the league that a new era of dominant big men had arrived. But Karl wasn't content with just being a traditional center. He wanted to revolutionize the position. He worked tirelessly on his perimeter shooting, becoming one of the deadliest three-point shooters in the entire league. Regardless of height, he shockingly won the NBA All-Star Skills Challenge, beating out elite guards, and later solidified his status by winning the three-point contest. He openly declared himself the greatest shooting big man of all time, backed up by analytics that left analysts stunned. Yet, as his personal accolades grew, the postseason success eluded him for years. The Timberwolves struggled to surround him with the right pieces. He made the All-Star team, signed massive contract extensions, but the constant losing weighed heavily on him. He was a superstar trapped in a small market that couldn't seem to win, and the media criticism began to mount. Critics labeled him as soft or unable to carry a team to a championship, creating a narrative that deeply frustrated the young star. When he finally returned to the court, after burying his mother and 6 family members, Karl was a completely changed man. He admitted that basketball no longer held the same joy. Every time he stepped onto the hardwood, the empty seat where his mother used to sit stared back at him. Yet he forced himself to play. He used the court as a sanctuary to escape the crushing weight of his thoughts, even when his body and mind were completely exhausted. It wasn't about the money anymore. It was about honoring the memory of the woman who gave everything for him to be there. In 2022, the Timberwolves organization made a desperate, high-stakes gamble. They traded away a massive package of assets to acquire superstar center Rudy Gobert. The media laughed at the idea. 2 7-footers playing together in a modern, fast-paced NBA seemed impossible, but Karl adjusted. He selflessly shifted to the power forward position, sacrificing his own touches and statistics for the sake of the team. Together, they formed the Twin Towers, turning Minnesota into the #1 defense in the NBA. The sacrifice paid off in a massive way during the 2024 playoffs. Karl-Anthony Towns played some of the most disciplined, high-stakes basketball of his life. He was instrumental in shutting down MVP Nikola Jokic in a historic 7-game series against the defending champion, Denver Nuggets. The Timberwolves shocked the world, advancing all the way to the Western Conference Finals. It felt like Karl had finally reached the mountaintop in Minnesota, proving all his doubters wrong and cementing his legacy with the franchise. But in the brutal business of the NBA, loyalty is often an illusion. Just before the 2024-2025 season began, a bombshell trade rocked the entire sports world. After 9 years of blood, sweat, tears, and unimaginable personal tragedy in Minnesota, the Timberwolves traded Karl-Anthony Towns to the New York Knicks. Karl was reportedly blindsided. He had built his life there, stayed through the dark times, and just when they were finally winning, he was sent away. It was a cold reminder of how transactional the league can be. Instead of putting his head down, Karl embraced the bright lights of New York City. Joining the Knicks, he instantly became the missing piece for a franchise, desperate for a championship. Playing in the world's most famous arena, Karl elevated his game to another level, silencing New York's notoriously harsh media. He proved that no matter how many times life or business throws a curveball at him, he will always stand back up and perform at an elite level. Today, Karl-Anthony Towns' financial empire is staggering. Thanks to a massive 4-year, $224 million Supermax contract extension, combined with high-profile endorsements with brands like Nike and Beats by Dre, his estimated net worth has soared to a jaw-dropping $80 million. He lives a life of absolute luxury, owning multi-million-dollar mansions and an exotic car collection. But if you ask Karl, he will tell you that the numbers in his bank account pale in comparison to the wealth of having family by your side. Karl-Anthony Towns' story is a powerful reminder that wealth and fame cannot shield you from the raw pain of human existence. He conquered the basketball world, accumulated unimaginable millions, but his greatest victory was surviving the darkest moments of his life without losing his spirit. He continues to play, to smile, and to dominate, carrying the legacy of his mother and his lost family members. In every single heartbeat, he proves that true strength isn't about never falling. It's about having the courage to stand back up when you've lost almost everything. What do you think of Karl-Anthony Towns' incredible journey? Do you think he will finally lift the championship trophy with the New York Knicks? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to Legend Stories for more incredible biographies. See you in the next video.